I got to know Bert Goldman when he was in his 80s, and this man just absolutely blew me away. Bert was able to achieve extraordinary feats using quantum jumping and was able to pick up new skills seemingly like magic well into his 80s. Every time I'd see him, he would pick up something new. So most people in their 80s are in retirement mode. Not Bert. He became a photographer with exhibited works. He started painting and produced a huge amount of art. He even taught himself to play the piano. And he didn't stop there. He created huge amounts of books, fiction and non-fiction. He, in his 80s, taught himself to build a website and became a digital entrepreneur. Some of his top websites were doing millions a year, selling his philosophies and meditations. And he claimed he was able to do all of this, succeeding as an online entrepreneur, a photographer, an artist, a musician, all by being able to tap into alternate versions of himself and download the skills from the multiverse. So if this sounds crazy, stay tuned. My name is Vishen Lakhiani and I run Mindvalley, which is the world's biggest platform for human transformation. Over 20 million people follow Mindvalley, and quantum jumping is one of the most popular protocols that we teach. When I first heard about the remarkable achievements Bert was having with quantum jumping in his 80s, I knew that this was one of the Rolls Royces of personal development. So how did Bert get there? Well, he told me this. He said, Vishen, I simply go into an altered state of mind. I tap into the multiverse. I imagine myself projecting into any type of universe I want. There's a universe where I'm a billionaire. There's a universe where I'm a musician. There's a universe where I'm an artist. There's a universe where I'm an actor. I project into these universes, observe these alternate versions of myself, and then absorb their skills, beliefs, and insights. And that, he said, was his secret. I asked Bert if he could teach the technique. He said yes. I was his very first student, and he asked me to help him come up with a name for the technique. Back then, I was really into the TV show Quantum Leap, so I came up with the name Quantum Jumping. I didn't realize how big quantum jumping would go. And today, if you open up TikTok or even Reddit, people are talking about quantum jumping decades later. But what many people miss is that it was this man who developed the technique and popularized it. Bert and I launched the first quantum jumping website in 2008, and we recorded this animated video that explains how quantum jumping works. Listen to it because it's so important to me that you hear Bert's voice. This gentle man had this beautiful voice that could put you in the most relaxed state of mind. Watch.
Hi, my name is Bert Goldman, and let me ask you something. When you were a child, what sort of fantastic dreams did you have? Did you want to be a planet-hopping astronaut? A brilliant scientist who discovers a cure for cancer? Maybe a record-breaking athlete with a cabinet of Olympic medals? A billionaire entrepreneur with a mansion on every continent? Well, what happened to those dreams? I'll tell you what happened. You grew up, and you started living in the real world. Your teachers told you to stop daydreaming. Your parents told you to be realistic, get a steady job and a mortgage. And before you knew it, your childhood dreams had vanished into thin air. But what if somewhere out there, in an alternate universe, there's a you who turned all those dreams into reality? Scientists like Stephen Hawking and Albert Einstein have long speculated on the existence of alternate universes. So imagine that somewhere out there, in these alternate universes, there's a version of you for everything you've ever wished you could be. A version of you as a billionaire. A version perhaps as a celebrity, a philanthropist, an inventor you. Now imagine there was a way you could tap into these alternate universes and connect with the alternate versions of yourself. What if you could meet the successful you and learn from that success how to boost your wealth and career, even if you've been stuck in a rut for years? What if you could talk to the athletic you and find out how to get that fit, sexy body you've always wanted, even if you've never been able to shake off those extra pounds? Or what if you could meet the Casanova you and figure out how to attract your dream partner, even though you've never had much luck in love? So, welcome to the world of quantum jumping.
Let me show you some wild evidence. In 2010, I decided to rent a car and drive for 2.5 hours from San Diego out into the deserts to visit Bert Goldman. When I came to Bert's home and I stepped into his house, the first thing that blew me away was his photography. These pictures are gorgeous. They almost have a 3D look. And then he showed me his paintings. I love his paintings. Many of these art pieces today are being sold for $10,000 to $20,000 or more. In fact, many collectors who own his art at this point refuse to sell it because they know how valuable his art is going to be. But Bert didn't stop there. Check out his musical ability.
You know something? I don't really know how to play the piano. But then again, when you've heard me play, you say, well, he must know something. You know, I really don't. I know about the keys. So I don't read music. I don't know one chord. I don't usually play too many black keys. I don't know what they do. I can learn, I know, but I don't want to because I wanted to prove that you can go to your doppelganger, your twin self, and be successful. And I bring back the rhythm of a pianist.
And what's crazy is that when I visited him, he had only started playing the piano 4 months before. He told me he quantum jumped into a reality where he was this incredible musician and he learned how to play the piano, and it became so easy for him. Bert was like this absolutely loving uncle to me. I learned so much from him. I was so touched that when I visited him that day, he gave me one of his most beautiful mosaic photography pieces that hangs today in the beautiful Mindvalley office. I learned so much from him, and I'm so grateful that we shared these beautiful moments together. Now, if Bert could do all of these amazing things in his 80s, what does that mean for you? Stick around till the end because I'm going to share with you everything you need to know to have your first quantum jump. But first, let me tell you about the man who developed this methodology because his story is equally fascinating. Bert developed this fascination for the human mind because of a mysterious incident that happened towards the end of World War II. So Bert was a sergeant in the US Army, and in 1945, with the defeat of Japan, American soldiers were stationed in Korea just south of the 38th parallel. Now, Bert was a really loving, friendly person. A sergeant in the army, he would roam the countryside of Korea and meet local Koreans and get to know them. And he made friends with a guy called Kim. One day, while roaming the countryside with Kim, Bert developed this aching migraine. And Kim said, wait, I know a man who can help you. So Kim takes Bert home and puts Bert in a room and has Bert wait there. And this strange-looking man comes in. This man starts doing mysterious things with his hands, playing with energy. And Bert's migraine completely disappears. So Bert turns to Kim and goes, who the heck was that? And Kim says, well, that is a mudang. A mudang is a Korean shaman. And what he was doing was manipulating chi and using energy to transform Bert's reality. This was Bert's first introduction to metaphysics. So when Bert left Korea and went back to the United States, his mind was filled with questions. He wanted to understand this unseen world, and he went deep to learn from the greatest teachers of his time. One of those teachers was the late, great Paramahansa Yogananda, famous for his book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And it was revealed recently that this book was Steve Jobs' favorite book. It was the only book he had in his iPad. And at his funeral, he gave this book to everyone. Autobiography of a Yogi is a remarkable book. And Yogananda was one of Bert Goldman's first teachers. Bert became a disciple of Yogananda, but he didn't stop there. He went on to study Ericksonian hypnosis, eye movement therapy, EFT, EMDR, NLP, Feng Shui, Qigong, tapping, the 7 principles of Hermes, yoga, meditation, labyrinth octave programming, and one of the protocols that most changed his life, the Silva Mind Control Method with Jose Silva. Bert Goldman became a master of the Silva Mind Control Method. He became Jose Silva's #1 instructor. And that was how him and I got connected. Now, to understand quantum jumping, I want you to remember this abbreviation, AIR. A-I-R. A stands for altered states. You need to go into an altered state of mind. Most of us are functioning at the beta or waking frequency in terms of brain frequency. To get into an altered state, you got to lower your brain frequency to the alpha level or the theta level. Alpha is for healing, theta is for intuition. Bert teaches a technique in quantum jumping to lower your brain frequency consciously, so at will, through a tongue movement, you can place yourself into an altered state. That's coming up soon. Now, the I stands for intuition. Let me explain this concept. One of the greatest lessons that Bert told me he learned from Jose Silva is this, the idea of the compass and the rocket. You see, most people, especially in popular American personal growth, people are trained that they should be rocketing towards their goals. But the problem is, very often, what we think is our goal is not actually what our soul is here to experience. You could be rocketing towards disaster. For example, you may think you want a particular person, but after getting to a relationship with this person, you realize, whoa, this was the wrong person for you. You may think you want that dream job, but after getting that job, you lose motivation. This is because of people focusing on the rocket, but not the compass. The compass is the eye in air. It is intuition. You have to be able to tap into your intuition to know if you're actually moving in the right direction, if the goal or the person or the job is actually the right one for you, because they may be a different compass direction that you should be aiming for. Then we come to the R, and R is resonance. Resonance is the most important thing. You see, everything is vibration. Nikola Tesla famously said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Because what many people don't understand is that the law of attraction doesn't work because you want something. It works based on the vibrations you're putting out. I'm friends with many of the greatest teachers in the movie The Secret, the movie that popularized the law of attraction. And I remember sitting down with Reverend Michael Beckwith, one of the men featured in that movie. And I asked him, in 2018, what would you change about teaching the law of attraction, given everything you know in the 15 years since that movie came out? And Beckwith said this, listen carefully. He said the law of attraction is bunk. Rather, what we should be paying attention to is the law of resonance. What is the law of resonance? Here's me explaining it on the popular Jay Shetty podcast.
Right, like the difference between manifesting effectively
Right.
and then wishing is so
Yes.
great. Tell us about the way you see them as different.
So one of my teachers is the Reverend Michael Beckwith, who lives here in LA, and he explained a concept to me once. We were having breakfast in Portugal at A-Fest, and he said, the universe doesn't give you what you want. The universe gives you who you are. People misunderstand that. They think the law of attraction is being obsessed with what you want. But no, if you want something, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. The universe will reflect to you what you are. And Beckwith calls this the law of resonance. Resonance. So you got to become that which you seek to be. The law of resonance means this. The universe doesn't give you what you want. Rather, the universe will reflect back to you who you are. And I'm saying that again because it's so important. The universe will not give you what you want. Rather, it reflects back to you what you already are. And I know the question in your head, you're thinking, well, I'm freaking broke. So how do I develop business ideas and start making money? I'm lonely, so how do I meet the right person? Well, there are ways around it. Some people say fake it till you make it, which is fine, but you risk falling into the trap of imposter syndrome, and ultimately you can't kid yourself and you can't kid the universe. You might try therapy, counseling, you might make small incremental changes. The truth is, all of these take a fairly long time, can be expensive, can cost tens of thousands of dollars, but will not really work for you if you aren't making those switches in what you believe about yourself. It's kind of like cable TV. When you're stuck in your own vibration, it's like you can't shift the channel. It's like someone has stolen the remote, and no matter what you do, you always experience the same show. With quantum jumping, not only do you take back the remote, but you can watch just about anything you can imagine. You can instantly flip between channels and have brand new experiences that simply weren't available to you before. And this is how Bert explains it. Quantum jumping operates on the principle of the multiverse. If you've watched movies in the last 20 years, I'm sure you're familiar with that term. From the Marvel Cinematic Universe, movies like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, to movies like Sliding Doors, to Best Picture winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Hollywood and modern pop culture is obsessed with the multiverse. The idea of the multiverse basically proposes that there are infinite universes where every single possibility that could exist does exist. And this isn't purely science fiction. Many of the world's leading scientists postulate that this could be true. Michio Kaku, the great physicist, said, "I believe we exist in a multiverse of universes." So how do you quantum jump? Well, the first thing you've got to understand is this. This is an advanced exercise that happens at an altered state of mind. Is your consciousness actually traveling across multiple dimensions? We don't know. Will you jump into a world where you've got hot dogs for fingers like Michelle Yeoh and Everything Everywhere All at Once? Probably not. But you can enter an altered state of mind that allows you to transcend the current vibration trap that's keeping you stuck in any given area of life and bring back that frequency that's going to shift your perception of reality and reflect back to you that which you seek. All you have to do is learn to talk to your doppelgangers. So what is a doppelganger? Well, a doppelganger is a German word meaning double walker. Basically, your twin self. Bert calls it your exact duplicate in one of the infinite number of universes that you actually exist in. But your doppelganger has a different upbringing, different programming, a self who made different choices in life. In one of these universes, you could be royalty. In another universe, you could be homeless. In another universe, you could be successful or poor, plain or handsome, ugly or beautiful, a musician or a business person, a soldier, an actor, an athlete, whatever. And you can, in theory, tap into the unique rhythm of any one of these alternate versions of you and bring back their vibrational frequency, meaning their beliefs, their ideas about themselves, their ideas about life. And you do this through quantum jumping. If you imagine a doorway to an infinite field of possibilities, a portal to the multiverse, focus on the doppelganger who has what you need. And then, in an altered state of mind while in deep meditation, you observe them. You connect with them. You notice how they feel, how they hold themselves, how they speak, how they think, how they dress. In advanced techniques, you can even ask them questions and intuitively listen for insight. You can tap into their emotional state and bring those emotions back with you. You can tap into their sense of possibility, their ideas of just what is possible in their world, and wake up from your meditative state with a new sense of possibility for yourself. And you can ask them for advice, and it is freaking bizarre. But the advice actually comes to you sometimes at the same time. While you're in that meditative state, very frequently, I want to just reach for a notebook and start writing things down. But I can't because I don't want to break this deep state of mind. In short, this technique is eerie as heck. So, if you're broke, you want to be wealthy, you quantum jump into a version of the multiverse where you have made a ton of money. You observe yourself in that version of the multiverse. You resonate with that self. You tap into the energy patterns of that self. And when you come out of this meditation, you will feel a little bit different. You will maybe feel more confident of your business abilities. You will maybe feel a little bit luckier. You will feel that money's coming towards you. And the more you do that, the more those feelings become part of you. And many people report that they then start seeing real changes in their physical reality.
Of all of the seminars we've done, we felt that hands down by far this has been the best that we've attended.
Bert Goldman is a wonderful teacher.
Meeting him in person has just blown my mind.
It was a unique experience in quantum jumping.
I felt like there was a definite shift.
My life has already changed just from yesterday until this morning.
This is actually a breakthrough for me.
Amazing as far as bringing clarity.
I came here to see Bert, and Bert was just awesome.
So how does it work? Well, this is what I believe. People are starting to talk about the idea that our brain is not just processing information like a computer. Our brain is in fact a receiver. Our brain is able to pick up information from outside the brain. This is frequently called intuition, insight, channeling, psychic ability. There are many names for it, but it's not just insights. You feel different. You actually start to believe that this is possible. You start to expect good things to happen. And this change seems to activate what Beckwith calls the law of resonance, that the universe doesn't give you what you want, but it reflects back to you what you are. And the more you do it, the faster and faster these realities come, and eventually you become the person in your quantum jump. Now, you have a portal to your destiny because you're not playing by the rules of limited physical reality. You're playing by the rules of the quantum field. So, let's go back to the formula, air. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the A, altered states. When you do quantum jumping, the first prerequisite is this: you must master how to get your brain into these altered states of mind. So many people try to quantum jump just at the waking frequency. This is wrong, and it's not effective at all. And if you've tried to do this at the waking frequency, you typically don't see results. This is what you gotta know. Our brains operate at different frequencies. And again, this field is complex, but I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. Our brains operate at different frequencies. If you connect yourself to an electroencephalograph, you'll see that when you're awake, you're operating at the beta frequency. Your brain is actually beating at a particular frequency of 14 to 21 cycles per second. Now, when people are meditating, their brain waves actually slow down to what is called the alpha frequency. Alpha is 7 to 14 cycles per second. The alpha frequency, when neuroscientists study it, seems to be associated with deep relaxation, with healing, with insights, with creativity. But you can go deeper. You can go into the theta frequency of mind. The theta frequency is 4 to 7 cycles per second. And theta has been observed to be the frequency where intuition and insights come in. But the more you go deeper into alpha and theta, the more powerful your intuition becomes. And the easier it becomes to put new beliefs, new ideas, new vibrations into your subconscious. This is why quantum jumping works at altered states of mind. When you go deeper to alpha and theta, you're getting greater insights and greater answers. You're tapping into something beyond just the ideas in your brain. You're activating that same potential that led so many great men and women across history, people like Nikola Tesla, to come up with incredible insights. And studies show that when you're at alpha, your subconscious mind is more responsive to auto-suggestion. This is why a hypnotist actually causes you to relax before programming your mind. Because you're in a relaxed state, when you meet your doppelganger and you observe him or her, and you observe their beliefs and their attitude and how they are functioning in the world, you're able to better take those and make an imprint on your subconscious. You're in effect self-hypnotizing yourself to take on new beliefs and patterns. And when you come out of this altered state, you come out a different person. This is why the A in the AIR formula is so essential. Now, getting to an altered state, funnily enough, is like riding a bike. The more you practice doing it, the easier it becomes. And in the quantum jumping program, Bert teaches you a unique trick you do with your tongue that comes from ancient Indian meditative practices. That is one of the most useful techniques in quantum jumping. It's sort of being able to dip into an altered state at will, anytime, no matter where you are. And this tongue trick, it's a position you make with your tongue and a program that you plant in your head causes you to be able to go into an altered state where you're fully lucid. And after doing this for about 30 days at the altered state, every time you switch that position of your tongue, you immediately go into that altered state. You activate that altered state of mind. You plant any command you want in your mind while you're in that altered state, and boom, you start operating like a different person. It gives you incredible control over your mind and your beliefs. Now, keep in mind, you don't want to be like a crazy person going around like doing weird things with your tongue. You got to learn the quantum jumping protocol before you learn how to create this mental trigger so you can access altered states at will. And because my job in the world is to bring the best personal development protocols to millions upon millions of people, I sat down with Bert and I worked with him to turn quantum jumping into a methodology that other people could learn from. We launched our first quantum jumping website in 2008. And right from the get-go, in the first month we opened up quantum jumping, it was double what any previous program we had published had ever done because of how powerful this methodology was. It's been 15 years since we first released quantum jumping, and we're so honored to see quantum jumping popping up all over the internet, on YouTube channels, on TikTok, on Reddit communities. We created this video and we updated the original quantum jumping protocol because I didn't want people to forget Bert's legacy. Bert passed away recently, but his legacy is so powerful, and he was the original teacher of quantum jumping. So check out some of these incredible stories of how quantum jumping has helped people. Ashok Balarajanan wrote about how a dear one in the Middle East was suffering severe pain. He taught her quantum jumping, and the very next day she was more energetic than ever. Musician Vincent McNichol from Rockaway Valley, Quebec, said he wrote 3 of his best songs in his life, and he'd been writing songs for 20 years. Aziza Mohammed got to live in her dream house. Within 2 weeks, she said, she met someone who was a homeowner in the community she desired to live in and was able to move into her dream house. Mary Madeline is an EFT practitioner, and she said quantum jumping has helped her take her sessions to the next level. Susanna wrote about how it's helping her get better in every way, from health to a performance as an intellectual to a performance as a telecom engineer. She said it's also improving my financial position. Dave Fields used it to help him hone his fields as a jeweler, and now he says his jewelry is appealing to a larger audience of buyers. Finding Bert, he said, was a godsend for me. Shirley Williams said, nothing has given me the depth I was looking for until I found quantum jumping. And a few years ago, we invited 3 quantum jumping fans to visit Bert Goldman. This is what they said.
A series of events happened that I was sort of in a dark place, not in a place where I'm usually kind of chipper and optimistic, and I wasn't quite there, and I wanted to reconnect with that self. I was just so thrilled that I was able to access something that I had, a part of myself that I had cut off. I had access to so much possibility. I was like a kid in a candy shop after that. Like, what else can I get access to?
After my back surgery, I wasn't moving too much. The medical doctor, the neurosurgeon saved my life, but there was an additional part that I needed, and that was the healing, and I didn't know where to go for it. It was pretty rough surgery, and that's when I knew that I had no tools how to heal myself. I was paralyzed from the waist down, and I had to learn to walk again.
Quantum jumping helped you to walk again.
Absolutely.
I was working on a client. I thought, I really want to be a more powerful healer and I really want to get paid very well for it. When I got the audio that said, have your first quantum jump led, and so I listened to it and I went, oh, well, this is just hypnosis. What's it going to hurt? So I'll go ahead and do this. And it's just so much more than
it was beyond hypnosis.
It's way beyond hypnosis. So in going there, I felt a shift, literally felt a shift. My body got chills and there was a literal shift in the room. It's like something shifted, something changed.
Nothing takes place until you take an action, until you take one foot and put it in another. The longest journey, I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times, the longest journey begins with the first step. Until you take that first step, you're not going anywhere. The first step is quantum jumping.
So if you want to learn quantum jumping, the official, original quantum jumping program sits on Mindvalley. Bert and I developed it together. And what you're going to learn is the complete original system to help people trapped at their current vibration escape effortlessly and step into a whole new empowering reality in as little as 15 minutes a day. Now, this isn't an easy program. We don't want it to be easy. This isn't kindergarten personal growth. This is an advanced protocol designed to give you advanced results. So if you're looking for something basic, this isn't for you. Quantum jumping is taking some of the deepest self-help protocols with a lineage going all the way back to Jose Silva, to Paramahansa Yogananda, and combining it with a really fun protocol to tap into the field of possibility. Bert has a way of making the practices so fun and exciting, you look forward to doing them, even if you have a hard time visualizing, even if you don't really know what it is you want, even if you've tried and failed with other aspects of personal growth or law of attraction. It'll work for you even if you're a skeptic on all of this spiritual stuff, because there's a core part of it that's rooted in science and psychology. And let me stress this, quantum jumping isn't magic. It's not going to happen overnight. It happens bit by bit. With every quantum jump, you take a step towards the right attitudes, the right mental discipline, the right beliefs, the right expansion of your goals. And bit by bit, in 15-minute slices, starts causing an acceleration towards the life that you want. Check out some of these incredible stories from quantum jumpers around the world.
This shit has changed my life. It did it for me last year and it's doing it again this year, and we're still just in the middle of January. I am now living in my highest timeline. Every day I am met with blessings and abundance.
So there's this thing known as the quantum field. And in the quantum field exists infinite possibilities. You can tap into those infinite possibilities and manifest that quantum reality for yourself. That's kind of what people call quantum leaps or quantum jumps. It is so powerful. So powerful. When I tell you I have been doing this for a week and things have already manifested for me that I've written down, it's insane.
I noticed a lot of changes, but the way it really clicked for me is when I saw my life, how it normally is, has literally gone into a parallel. So it's almost like things that were always the same in my previous life are now completely the opposite in this one. I even saw this with my parents. For example, I always talked to one of them, but the other one we never talked. For the first time in my life, it's reversed. I see the change of my appearance drastically. The hobby thing, that's legit. It happened. Manifestations coming like lightning speed, bro. I wish it, I get it, literally. All of the opportunities I'm getting, it's like they're leading me or training me in order to get the main one that I want in the timeline that I was trying to get to. And it's not like 1, 2 opportunities. It's like every day someone is contacting me for either a new job or to do a project for them or something of the sort.
What would it be worth to you to suddenly gain the tools to achieve just about anything you set your mind on to? Because remember, once you learn quantum jumping, you don't just apply it to one thing. You can apply it to learn and master any new skill. Find answers, inspiration, solutions. Make yourself more charismatic. Make yourself a better speaker. Give yourself a better sense of style, more confidence, new mental attitudes, a newfound sense of belief. And then use these skills to change the lives of the people who matter, your friends and family. So if you're serious about creating a better life for you, but something seems to be holding you back, if you're even somewhat curious about what quantum jumping can do for you, then I invite you to dive in to the full program. Now let me explain how it works. Quantum jumping is an online program that guides you through every step of exploring the multiverse and meeting your alternate selves through the power of advanced visualization. You'll join quantum jumping creator Bert Goldman in a series of multimedia lessons, visualizations, and altered state mind exercises for mastering this transformational practice. The program is designed for easy study at your own pace and no prior experience is needed. From the very first days of the program, you learn how to quantum jump. And the program goes deeper and deeper to help you refine those jumps, to get you to do unique types of jumps that you may not even be aware of, so you get better and better at who you are. In the preparation section of the program, you will learn the quantum mind sequence, and you will also learn 3 elements to improve your visualization. Then we go into chapter 1, jumping into abundance. This is where you learn to quantum jump to develop an abundant mindset. You quantum jump into a lucky version of you. This helps you develop this feeling of luck and expectancy. You quantum jump into being a savvy investor and into a rich version of you. In chapter 2, you quantum jump for health. You learn how to develop a vision for an ideal body and to develop the vibrations of that ideal healthy state. We then go into energy, into invincible health, and into developing a healthy mindset where you love to exercise. You seek only the foods that are healthy for you, and many people report incredible changes to their body. At this point, I'd like to share a story. Just last month, I decided to quantum jump to improve my health. You see, I was going to the gym twice a week. But the problem was, I never really liked it. I always felt I was pushing myself. So I quantum jumped to meet a version of myself that loved exercise. And in just one jump, everything changed. Within weeks, I found myself approaching exercise in a completely different way. I started participating in daily push-up challenges. I started going to the gym 3 times a week. And when I wasn't able to make it to the gym, I developed a home workout routine that I absolutely loved doing. I started tracking my exercise protocols on my computer, and my body started changing. I felt more energized, more alert, more happy with my body than ever before. Now, all of this happened with one jump. The jump changed my attitude towards exercise when I met that version of myself that was a doppelganger who really prided himself in his body and loved exercise. This is how effective and how fast quantum jumping can work. And at this point, we go into chapter 3, where you jump into healthy relationships. Loneliness is a huge epidemic right now. So here, we teach you how to jump into versions of you that can attract a loving relationship, to jump into a version of you that becomes a magnet for your soulmate, to jump into a version of you that's surrounded by incredible friends, and a version of you that's in a truly happy family. Chapter 4, we work on your career and success. You learn to jump into a purposeful career, a happy workplace. You learn to jump to be a person who has great mentors, and you learn to jump into what Bert calls blissful success. Success without stress. But we don't stop there. We then go to chapter 5, where you jump into a happy home. You learn to jump to become a feng shui guru. Bert really believed in feng shui, and here you learn how to be aware of the energies in your home to give you a more blessed life. In chapter 6, we work on your spiritual connection. You learn to jump into an open heart. Many people have trouble attracting the right relationship because some childhood trauma or some block from a past hurtful relationship shields their heart. And here you learn to open up that heart shield. You learn to jump to be a person with powerful, energetic connections with your romantic partner. You learn to connect with your spirit, and you learn to develop inner peace. And then in chapter 7, you learn to jump into a life of adventure. Who doesn't want that? Bert guides you to develop the vibration of boundless excitement, the vibration of having a truly fun experience in life. In one really cool quantum jump, called Jump into Exotic Flavors, you learn to bring exoticness to your life. More on that in the program. And then finally, chapter 8 is a doppelganger integration program. This is where you learn to integrate everything you've learned to create a new you. Now, if you're still with me at this point, it's probably a no-brainer to enroll in this program. The only thing you might be wondering is, what is the cost? When we first launched quantum jumping as a seminar, people paid up to $2,000 to attend the seminar for just a weekend with Bert to go deep into quantum jumping. Today, you're paying a tiny fraction of that. You see, between 2008 and today, Mindvalley, my publishing company that first published quantum jumping, grew and grew and grew. It became a global phenomenon. CNN did a feature on Mindvalley. Listen to what Zane Asher of CNN says about how effective the platform is in changing lives and how her life was affected.
transforming the lives of 1 billion people is the aim of Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mindvalley. I absolutely love this app, Mindvalley. And this app really did change my life.
And of course, this is just CNN. Mindvalley has been covered in many other publications. And so Mindvalley today works like Netflix. And one of the things that we were able to do as we grew is that we were able to bring economies of scale and rapidly lower the price of the platform. Rather than buy a single program for $500, for a significantly less price, monthly or annual, you get a full subscription to Mindvalley and all our programs are unlocked for you. Which means this, you don't just get quantum jumping, you get every other program in Mindvalley, over 100 world-class programs. If you've heard of Mindvalley and you know how amazing this platform is, you might want to get an annual subscription. But perhaps you just want to do quantum jumping, then you might want to get a monthly subscription for less than $100. And you can easily complete the full quantum jumping program in 1 month. In fact, I completed it in one Saturday in 8 hours straight. I couldn't stop because the exercises were just so freaking exciting. All you have to do is scroll down below and click the button to enroll. Now, it gets better. After the success of Quantum Jumping 1, I worked with Bert and we created a follow-up program called Quantum Jumping 2. And since this too sits in the Mindvalley platform, you're not just getting Quantum Jumping 1, you're getting both Quantum Jumpings, as well as every other Mindvalley program with your subscription. Quantum Jumping 2 is called Advanced Quantum Jumping. And what you learn here is how to jump further. You learn how to jump into an infinite well of wisdom. You learn to get to the highest levels of quantum jumping. You learn a concept called quantum relaxation, which is so useful if you suffer from stress and burnout. You learn a concept called target jumps to get you to your goals fast. And you also go into some advanced spiritual practices, including clearing up past life karma. Bert included some incredible new jumps, such as the reverse jump to find your true self, the unlimited prosperity jump with the Midas touch, which makes you live a life that almost seems blessed by luck. You learn to create unbreakable health with the cellular jump, and you get a series of bonus quantum jumping meditations. But we didn't stop there. With the success of Quantum Jumping 1 and Quantum Jumping 2 and the huge community that we created around quantum jumping, Bert periodically created unique quantum jumping experiences based on what our community asked for. These experiences became bonus courses in quantum jumping, and we're going to give you all 3 of them. The first is called Quantum Angels, and if you believe in the unseen and guides or angels, this program teaches you how to connect with your angels. The second is called New Moon Programming, which is a way to program yourself for new behaviors, new ideas, in alignment with what Bert believed was the spiritual part of the month, the new moon. And the third is Past Life Regression. This is an interesting one. Whether you believe in past lives or not, Bert teaches you to quantum jump to past lives so that you can absorb the knowledge and wisdom of these past lives, bring them to your current reality, and understand yourself better. All 3 of these programs are also going to be available to you, along with 100 other Mindvalley programs from a wide array of different teachers. Mindvalley simply brings you the very best cutting-edge program in every aspect of human growth. And so, as you quantum jump and you see all of these new lives that your doppelgangers are living, lives as an entrepreneur, lives in a healthy body, you can then dive into other programs to help you get there. You can dive into our world-class entrepreneurship programs or world-class health programs. The learning never stops. This is why Mindvalley has gathered over 21,000 user case studies on our website that you can browse. And this is why hundreds of publications have spoken about Mindvalley as one of the most transformative forms of education you can invest in, all for the low price directly below this video. Just scroll down and check it out. And remember, when you look at this price, the original Quantum Jumping, just Quantum Jumping 1, used to sell for $500. Now, at this point, it's an absolute no-brainer, but perhaps for some of you, money might be tight. So I want to introduce you to something really special about Mindvalley and something that we get spoken about a lot. It's our 15-day guarantee and one-click refund policy. You don't have to make up your mind right now. All you have to do is say, maybe. You can enroll, get access to quantum jumping immediately, and then for the next 15 days, you can go through any program on Mindvalley, and you can certainly finish quantum jumping as I did in even 1 day if you have 8 hours to spare. And at any point, if you feel you do not want to continue, simply go to your account page on Mindvalley, click cancel, and with one click, give yourself a refund. You do not have to write an email. You don't have to deal with customer support. It's an automatic one-click refund. So you can basically get access to the full program and then refund yourself. But we know most people don't. Because once you dive into Mindvalley and see what the platform has to offer, most people start to understand that this is the beginning of a total transformation in their lives. So let's recap. For a low price below, and you can choose monthly or annual, you get access to not just Quantum Jumping 1, but Advanced Quantum Jumping, BERT's follow-up program, as well as bonus quantum jumping products that our community had asked for. And we don't stop there. You also get access to Mindvalley's entire library of over 100 programs, 100 of the world's top personal growth programs from legends all around the world, all on the Mindvalley platform. You can access these programs on your desktop, on your mobile phone, iOS or Android using the Mindvalley app, and even on Apple TV. And all of this comes with a 15-day one-click refund policy. So at any point in the next 15 days, if you feel this isn't for you, one click and you get your money back. But that's not all. I'm going to add a final thing that's going to blow you away. A few years ago, I launched an app called Omvana, and Omvana rapidly became one of the world's top meditation apps. Omvana contained 1,000 of the world's top meditations from leading personal growth teachers. When you enroll in Mindvalley right now, we're going to give you access to this entire meditation collection directly on the Mindvalley app. So you don't even need to download a second app. You will find powerful meditations, including BERT's own meditations, but also meditations from a huge variety of different teachers so that you can truly transform your life. No matter what you're looking to do, no matter what type of mood fix you need, confidence, motivation, abundance mindset, there'll be a track for you. Now, finally, remember what I said about Bert Goldman's teachers, Jose Silva and Paramahansa Yogananda? We actually worked with Jose Silva's family to bring Jose Silva's official program, Silva Ultramind, onto Mindvalley as well. So when you get Quantum Jumping, you're also getting Jose Silva's best program, the Silva Ultramind system. Silva Ultramind is one of the top-selling online courses in personal development. Now, with Yogananda, unfortunately, Yogananda died in 1952. We never got a chance to create a program with him. But we did create a program with someone whom people say is the modern-day Yogananda, Sadhguru. You'll get Sadhguru's program, A Yogi's Guide to Joy, included in Mindvalley as well. So basically, you're set up for the rest of your life. Just about anything you want to learn is now available to you. This is why people have said Mindvalley is building the future of education, the next Harvard or Stanford of our time. But education that truly applies to real life and what human beings want to experience. Not education to just get you a career, but education to make you the most blissful, happy, connected human being you could be. So you could be like everyone else and just have a Netflix subscription. Or you could be like that fine set of human beings who, in addition to having subscriptions on platforms like Spotify and Netflix, also have a Mindvalley subscription because they prioritize learning and they seek to be a better and better version of themselves every single day. This is what you now have access to. So if this sounds good to you, scroll down below, click to get started with Quantum Jumping and your Mindvalley subscription. When I studied Quantum Jumping, it was one of the best decisions of my life. And I trust that you're about to make one of the best decisions of your life. Scroll down below and click Get Started. And I'll see you inside the Mindvalley platform.